Yo, hello everybody. Welcome to the Triple T for Knife Makers podcast. I am your host, Denis Tyrell from Tyrell Knifeworks. I have my best bud, Jerid from Echo Blades. I am ready for the holidays. I am all jazzed up. Went to Canada, saw some snow. I'm ready for the holidays, Jerid.
This is good because they are upon us, my friend. They are here.
Something about walking around in the snow. It was, haven't done that in a long time.
Walking around in what?
The snow.
Yes, right, my dude.
No, but I actually used it properly because I was walking around
No,
in the
it's
snow.
it's a global term. The snow. It's an event.
How you been?
I'm good. I had a fairly active week, and it was good. It was good. I mean, I actually so I, this has been on my mind, my heart, my spirit, however you want to say it, the past week or so. I was talking to somebody today, and they asked me how I was doing, and I'm busy, blah, work, da, 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 da. And I stopped for a minute, and I started to just really kind of fact check my day. And I just, in recovery, sometimes we do what's called a gratitude list, where we just start naming the positive things to kind of get you out of the naysay stuff. And it kind of brought me back to a thought that I had, that I know is unfortunate for some of us during these holidays. They're a time to kind of get together with your family, appreciate, spend time with the ones you love. And Christmas is really about that kind of style, but not style, but that theme. And, sometimes these are hard for people. It's not for everyone to be all happy, joyous, and free and kind of skipping through a field of daisies. Sometimes these times are difficult for some people. And, I just want to give a shout out to those that may be, feeling down not less than, but feeling like they're missing something, not feeling 100%. And just know that you are loved. You're not alone. All kinds of people and friends that you can reach out to. Denis and I, obviously. But shout out to you guys and positive vibes for things to turn around. If that is your story, it's not for everybody, but it is something that I feel should be mentioned. And just want to put that out there that I've been there before, and it's not fun, but you're not alone. So just keep pushing and phone a friend, or you can play the most popular game in all of knife making right now.
The most
Is he
popular game.
is he gay or Canadian?
My sister, the first the first episode she ever listens to, and then you open with is he gay or Canadian.
Oh, that's awesome. So, anyways, with that being said, I just felt like anyway, I wanted to just say that. So, while I was kind of going off on this tangent a little bit, and I started just naming all this awesome shit that just happened today. I'm happy to say that I'm feeling good and things are going good. But I am before I get into my stuff, I'm actually this is a rare occasion. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say. No, I'm excited to hear. I want to hear about the trip, dude. I want to hear first of all, how did the maker date night go? That's what I'm most excited about. I feel like you pussed out and it didn't happen, but I do want to hear the details.
I'll give you the play-by-play of the weekend, but that was not the highlight. You'll hear what happened.
Oh,
But yeah, I finishing the katanas came down to the wire. Like it was my flight left Thursday night at 11 p.m., 11:30 p.m. I had to sharpen and what did I do? Sharpen in pictures and all that kind of crap. Because of course I'm doing a video and I'm going to hand these off. So I needed to get all the pictures done. So by noon Thursday, I was done, which was kind of pretty close for me. I would have liked to be done a week earlier, but everything got done. Um, yeah, that was a relief. By Thursday afternoon, I literally wanted to lie by the couch and have a nap, which I never did get to do. But the first challenge was, and hopefully there's no one from, Canadian Customs on the listening to this, but was, so I put them in a box, like a 6x6x48 box, because I didn't want to bring the big case that I had to pay for on the way back. And I'm taking these across the border. And of course, I made them so I can kind of declare what their value is.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a little worried that I had to declare, like, because I didn't declare anything, because I just said, oh yeah, these are gifts, like, didn't have to do
Right.
anything. But then I got up to the one guy and he looked at the box and he said, "What's in the box?" And I kind of, at that point, I had to say, "Oh, they're just two swords." And he looks at me and he's like, "Go over there." And he points me to like this other side room. And I'm like, "Oh, shit." So I take the swords, and I'm in Canada at this point. I'm trying to clear Canadian customs. And I go over there, and it's like an empty kind of room with its own scanner and stuff. So there's two swords, a chef knife for my sister, and one of my little sand tigers in a
Mm-hmm.
case. And they're in this box as well. They send the swords through another scanner. All the guy wants to know, he doesn't give a shit about the swords. Didn't question me about the swords at all. All he wanted to know was he thought the sand tiger was a folder.
Oh.
That's the only thing he was worried about, is it a an auto? That's the
Oh.
only thing that I was questioned about. So got through the border with the swords, no
Did they
problem.
have to open the box?
No, I offered to open the box because he was only interested in the sand tiger, and he's like, he asked, because he's looking at the little clip on the side, and he's wondering, you know, because apparently you can carry around a 3-foot sword or 4-foot sword, but a little folding knife is a no.
Hmm.
But yeah, but yeah, made it through the border on no sleep because it was the midnight flight. Got
That's the
there,
only way
and
we get down, man. It seems
I
that way,
know.
right?
Well, going to the East Coast, it's like the only way. Um, but I went to my sister's house and then phoned my mom. Didn't tell her I was coming, and phoned her up and said, "Hey, what are you doing? And you want to go for lunch?" And she was like totally surprised, and yeah,
That's
so
cool. That's
yeah,
really cool.
she was very, yeah. Took her for lunch and then hung out. And then yeah, I showed my sister the swords, and they're all, yeah, mm, you know, they loved them, and but it's not that their opinion doesn't matter, but like they're gonna be impressed by whatever it is that I make. She was very happy to receive the chef knife, which was a surprise. She didn't know she was getting that. So
That's cool.
yeah, I met one of
Fucking,
my. Sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say Dennis, old Saint Nick.
I know, right? Then my friend Paul, that I haven't seen in at least 25 years. Went to high school together. So
Did you
met
parallel bar with him?
met with him. His son came over. He came over with his son because his son wanted to see the katanas. Um, his son is a welder, so we had some stuff to talk about. And then Paul and I went out for drinks, and yeah, it was cool. It was good to, it was cool to be back home in Canada, seeing old friends, seeing family. That part was heartwarming, even though the city looks totally different than when I was there. And but yeah, it was cool.
I love that. That's about as emotional as Dennis can get. It was it was heartwarming. That's awesome, man. I'm really, really, really happy you got to do that and just have like kind of a low key trip. You're there for a while too, right?
No, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Left.
That's a
Well,
that's
sorry,
a
I wasn't even there Thursday. I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So
that's
four
pretty good
days.
for all like the only business you had to do was drop off some swords, right?
Yeah, and that took less than an hour,
That's
not
cool.
including the drive there. But Saturday, noon. I think our thing was at 1:30 Saturday afternoon. Drove to Orangeville, which is where their dojo was, and the two senseis actually presented the sword. So I sat, you'll see this in the video. I sat behind them and handed them the sword. Then he unwrapped it from the sleeve that was in, because I made little sleeves for them, and then did this presentation, and then to each of the recipients.
Sleeves or the scabbard?
No, like there was sleeves, like with the initials on them, like
Oh,
so yeah, I made these sleeves that have little ties at the top, just so you could
okay.
carry them around and they didn't look like swords. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So yeah, that took like 45 minutes, and hung out, talked to the senseis for a while, and gave out some cards, and yeah,
Was
and
Sensei
then
approved? I'm saying, like, they.
yeah, and he's got an actual katana, and he was very impressed, and he was like, holding them upside down by the scabbard and saying, "Hey, this is how it's supposed to be," and that the katanas don't fall out. And
Right.
yeah, he thought they would be very generic katanas. He was very surprised to see them. Love the copper. So one was copper and one is a silver katana. So yeah, that went really well. I was happy. The customer was really happy. So that's made me happy. And then it was over with. And then I drove to Toronto and met my college friend Christine, and we had dinner. More reminiscing, and it turns out that the bladesmith I was supposed to meet bailed because his daughter was sick, so we never did get together.
Ah, that sucks.
Yeah. So, but
No
yeah, that
chance
was
at no chance at make or love.
no.
That sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, driving. I forgot how busy Toronto is. If you've never been to Toronto, like it makes New York. It feels like busier than New York City when you get downtown. And I was at the Eaton Center, which is like the hub of kind of downtown. At Christmas, it was crazy. There
Hmm.
was so many fucking people. It was ridiculous. It took me twice as long to get there. Traffic was crazy. That part I did not enjoy, but yeah.
And it's snowing.
Uh, I don't remember if it was snowing at that point, but it was cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then dinner with the family on Sunday, and headed out Monday. Just relaxed. I don't even think I left my sister's house on Sunday. And then headed back yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah. Did manage the two things I wanted to do while I was there. Besides hand off the swords, I wanted to make sure I had some poutine, which I did twice. Um, I got Mr. Jerid a gift. I did a bit of shopping, not much. But best poutine I had was at the Toronto airport, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun time.
And poutine is what, like fries and gravy?
No, French fries, beef gravy, and cheese curd.
So fries and gravy with cheese.
You're underplaying it, but yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help that. No, yes.
It's delicious if you
I've had it before. Well, I don't know where I've had it, but I've had some variation of it. But I'm sure I haven't had it for real. Yeah. So,
yeah.
well, that's cool.
But yeah, tried to get you some flavored chew. They don't have it in Canada. Not that I
Yeah,
found.
I just got that seconded earlier today.
Yeah.
So
Well, you thought I was lying to you, so you had
no,
to
no,
check up on me.
I don't know if it's different. It's a pretty big place. I don't know if it was just in that particular area, but
Yeah.
elsewhere is the same.
I'm, Canada is about as as many laws as California, so I'm not surprised they followed suit with the same kind of law.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
good. I
and
good.
and I told you my sister listened to. She didn't even know we had a podcast because I kept saying your name. Oh yeah, me and Jerid, me and Jane. She's like, "Who's Jerid?" I'm like, "He's my co-host on the podcast." And she listened to an episode and she says I sound like Seth Rogen. I don't get
Like a
it, but
like a boring Seth Rogen.
a less stoned Seth
Yeah,
Rogen.
you got to giggle a lot. Every time he says anything, he does.
Yeah.
So, well, you kind of sound stoned today, so maybe she's onto something. I don't know. You can barely see your eyes, and they're super red. I don't know what's going on.
No, they're not. You're full of shit.
Okay, I'm just joking, but just trying to do the
All right.
Pineapple
So
Express.
so you got your gift. Give me the down low. How was it?
There's no down low about it, man. I got my fist in the air. All my fat guy senses are tingling. Butter tarts are the mother in business. Holy shit. I don't know how I've been on. I was this many days years old today when I experienced my first butter tart extravaganza. It was pretty cool too, because I came home and um, I brought him. I pulled Jerid and Lynn into the kitchen, and I kind of was telling them the story about how this all came about. And still, every time I get to tell the story, I love the fact that I get to tell them this mother likes blueberry pie. I don't know who in God's name wants blueberry pie when there's pecan pie. And he goes, oh, well, hey, there's some butter tarts. And I really didn't know anything about them, and they are fantastic. And I am so appreciative. They're super good. They gave me a fucking sugar rush, and because I don't get to get loaded anymore, but like intense sugar moments and getting lightheaded are about as much as I consider those freebies. And
Well, the place we went had like 6 different kinds, but I figured you'd appreciate the ones with the pecans in them
yes,
or
that
pecans.
particular the pecan, yeah, that was so good. So I don't know how this happens, but I talked to a lot of Canadians. And there's a company out of Toronto that I use for sprinkler design, and so I sent him a picture. Oh, and I got a bottle of real maple syrup.
That's
So
right.
I texted a picture of the butter tarts and the maple syrup, and I said, "See, this is what it's like when your buddies love you. They bring you things, and it's awesome. You Canadians try to keep all this shit to yourself, but and then oh, those are store bought and blah 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 blah. But turns out one of the guys that works for him, he goes, oh, that supermarket's right down the street from such and such's house. So I don't know if that's like a single market or if they're a chain.
I have no idea.
I didn't think
I
you
thought it
would.
was a specific single market in
So
Guelph where my sister lives, but
yeah, so apparently that's where the guy lives, and it's right there. So ironically, but anyways, oh, those are store bought, and then I showed him the maple syrup, and he was like, "Oh nope, that's legitimate. That's the real shit right there." So
that is local stuff from back where I'm from. So
nice. I'm
yeah,
excited to try that. I've had maple air quotes syrup at IHOP so I don't think I've ever really had it. So I'm
yeah.
stoked. Over the
It's
top.
it's thinner than you would expect if you're used to the Aunt Jemima stuff that comes out super thick. Real maple syrup is not very thick.
Oh, it's kind of a letdown.
You'd be
I want to
surprised.
like hold it and just wait for it.
No, don't do that. You'll end up pouring the whole thing out.
Oh shit! All right. Well, that was that. I'm all fired up. I'm all jacked up on butter tarts right now. I just had one right before we started. So
Well, I'm glad you like them. I was worried that you were going to say these are just like pecan pie.
I don't give a shit. I love pecan pie. If it's just like pecan pie. I mean, to me, it is a bite-sized pecan pie, which means I can kind of as best as I can. What's that called? when you're rationing.
Oh,
Moderate, yeah, and moderation.
it's just a better delivery system for crust is all I
Yeah.
think of.
So I told Lawrence, I texted Lawrence, and he goes, "Oh yeah, they're pretty good." He goes, but because I was telling him I'm probably going to lose my feet because of these things because I'm diabetic, right? So I'm like, I shouldn't be eating them, but. And he goes, "Yeah, if you have one, you'll be able to keep your foot." And I go, "Oh, my feet are gone. This is
That,
trouble."
that's what Lawrence should bring to Blade Show. None of this T-shirt bullshit. Just boxes of butter tarts.
I'm fully on board with that suggestion. So, yeah, you done good,
Oh,
Tyrell. You
well,
done good.
I'm
That was
glad you
awesome.
like them.
Thank you. That was very sweet.
So, what'd you do all weekend?
Fuck, man, I did all kinds of shit. Really, 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 really stoked. I actually got to get my buddy Sean, Sean the knife guy, and I have been playing hit or miss with this because he moved, I don't know, 20 minutes away, as opposed to about an hour away. And we were talking about getting together and forging. So I finally got to hook up with him on last Tuesday, I think. And he just built this, bought a home and built his own shop, dude. eh, Other people's shops are probably cooler than anything, like most things to me. Like how people put together their shop and the space that they have with the tools that they have. I mean, I nerd out on that all day long. And it got me starting to wonder, like, if I had the opportunity to build my own shop, like what would it look like? Would it be, a box? Would it be, a long rectangle kind of thing, which is kind of what I'm leaning to because that's pretty much what he had. I think it was 12 by 24, 28 or some shit like that. But I kind of like that vibe better where you got, tools up and down the sides of the walls. You get like a process and progression of all your shit going on, and then some tabletops in the middle. And but he did a great job, built the whole thing from him, by himself. And then the coup de grace, which I'm just all about right now, is a grinding room.
Yeah, wish I
I
could
mean,
have one.
I do too, and I'm kind of locked in to where it would take some serious reorganization and things, but so I don't think I'm going to do it. But the idea is awesome, and seeing, I think I can't remember somebody else's shop I had one, but really cool. So, anyways, we got together. This is the first time that he actually had forged in it because he's been building the shop over the summer, and then he hadn't fired up he built a new forge, like an Apollo ish kind of deal. So we fired that up for the first time, and we got busy. And he's like, "Man, I'm out of practice. I haven't forged in a long time," and so it was pretty cool. What did I do? I wanted to just do like just a little chef or a petty, like a chef is what I was going for. But this was the first time that I forged where I didn't feel absolutely clueless. Like every other time that g- I've been going through the process, I've really kind of leaned on the direction of somebody to, like, this is what you're doing now. This is what you're doing now. I'm not saying that didn't happen because that did happen. But this was where I was able to kind of participate, even if it was just in my mind, like thinking, okay, now I should be trying to do this. And I get to vocalize that and get some validation. And so that was really good, uh, mentally, um, kind of, it was cool. It was cool to finally not feel like an absolute complete noob. I shared that with somebody, and they were like, "Well, that's crazy," because I still feel like one every time I do it, which I can relate to. I'm not saying that anything like magical happened, but it was cool. We had a good time. We didn't quite finish. It was a Tuesday night, and I think I get there in the afternoon. I don't know, maybe just say 5:30, and we were just bullshitting and going at it. And by the time I fucking looked down, it was already 9:30, and I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go. I gotta work tomorrow. So we didn't really finish. And then I went back there on Friday, and of course, in true Jerid fashion, we started something else. I'd been telling him about the hex stock that I got from Lawrence. So I grabbed a couple pieces of those, and we started some integrals and kind of got after that. So I got about, I don't know, I got both knives about 75% right now. But dude, so I guess this is the thing you can kind of help me out. When you're forging an integral, as you're drawing the knife out, I guess you tend to get a little a hump above the
Integral?
On the spine, right, right next to the integral.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a, I don't know what the hell. Anyways, so we were kind of fighting that, and I had this bright idea that I wanted to hold on to the tang, which hadn't been kind of drawn out yet, so it was still pretty big. And the knife at this point is maybe the blade's maybe 4 inches, about 4 inches, and then the integral. So there's not much there, and everything's still pretty thick. So I had this fucking bright idea to whack it on the anvil.
I'm just waiting for the story of this flying out of your.
So he says something like, he's like, I don't know, we better hold on to that thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? How's this? It's not gonna, And he's like, well, I wouldn't suggest that. I mean, he was super, like, as the best as he could, try to tell me you're being an idiot, don't do it. And I was like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna try it, whatever. So he's like, well, you gotta get it nice and hot. And so I grab and I take one whack, boom, I hit it, and I look, and I'm like, it did something. It probably did nothing, right? I just was trying to believe that it was gonna happen. So I rear back and I hit it again. Oh, dude. So this is why we wear PPE. Okay. So I have my mother effing glasses on. I have my apron, and I had just done something with my glove hand, or tong hand, that I had gloves on. So I go and I whack. Sure as shit, this fucking knife hits the anvil, comes back at me, hits me straight in the chest, bounces right on my glove, and onto the floor. And it got a little hot when it hit my hand, but I was just like deer to headlights, like looking around, like, oh my god, that could have been really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I've done exactly the same thing before. Probably trying to do the same operation.
Good, thank God. I can't be the only dumbass in the world that tried that. But yeah, that was scary as shit. It was fun. It was like I was so confident and shit, but I couldn't believe that it popped out like that. I thought I had a death grip on it, but so I won't be doing that again. That's for sure.
That's what your leg vise is for. Clamp the thing in your leg vise and hammer on the spine instead of doing that. And I've seen people put it spine down on the anvil, and I forget, either someone else hold it and then you get a peen, like a straight peen or a cross peen, and hit that spot on the right in front of the bolster.
Yeah, all that sounds way more efficient and safer. But yeah, so I mean that's cool. We did I did get to show off my fat peen. I used the shit out of it. That's the hammer that I did use. So in honor of our buddy Frank and Nita over at Two Basterds Hammer Smithy and Supply, if you are looking for your next hammer, make sure you go grip and check out
go grip your peen.
Go grip your peen. You beat your peen, get it nice and hot, grip it and rip it. But yeah, go get a Two Basterds fat peen, crossed, diagonal, straight, double diagonal, all the peens. Every every peen you need, he's got. So go check him out.
And you can also get them at Maritime Knife Supply. I
That's
just
right.
got my order from Lawrence, a whole bunch of abrasives. I was very excited to get those.
Me too.
And I gave Lawrence a whole list. He's been asking me for a list of what folder parts he should put up on Maritime Knife Supply. So I gave him a whole list of folder parts. So maybe we're going to see some folder kits up there on Maritime Knife Supply. So we always say Lawrence has got it all, and he's ever expanding.
Always expanding. And right now he's in the islands.
That's right. Yeah, he's in Hawaii.
Swimming with the. I don't know if he's swimming with the dolphins, but I just saw some video of
Snorkeling, he
it.
said.
Yeah,
Snorkeling.
snorkeling and chasing dolphins.
Yeah, that dolphin was giving him the hairy eyeball the whole time. It was, it
The
was
hairy eyeball.
as in it was watching him.
Oh my
The
god!
You've never heard
Never
that
heard of the
expression?
hairy eyeball. What the fuck, dude?
It's like the cat's ass, the hairy eyeball.
I just had a whole conversation about the cat's ass, and I had to sit there. Look, how do you say this? I tend to be a little quick with my humor, right? Like I almost get irritated when people say lame, obvious jokes, right? So I said some the cat's ass came up, and I'm like, no, apparently the cat's ass is good, but because I look at a cat's ass and I don't think that's grand, but you know, they're going through that, and they just started like ripping this, like going into the cat's ass thing. And well, the cat's ass has got to be good, and and I was just like, oh my god, you ever just wish you never brought something up? I was just like,
Always.
yeah. Every time I talk to Jerid, he says, but yeah, that was unfortunate. But okay, so the hairy eye, awesome.
Hairy eyeball. Yeah, it looked like he's having a grand time. So yeah, I
Yeah,
still got my order, even though he's in Hawaii.
it's amazing how he does it. So for all your knife making needs, go visit Maritime Knife Supply.
But you know what I did notice in the last couple of days, especially yesterday. My hands haven't been so clean in because they were gross, of course, by the time I left. And then by the time I'm leaving Canada, I'm like, man, I haven't seen my hands this clean in months.
Well, that's good. You can wash them.
No, this is after washing them, like scars and nicks and cuts
No,
and
I know it. One weekend in there, and you got all those cuts, got that black grit in there, and you can't
yeah.
get them out. At that time, you should probably go check out our other buddy Travis Haynes at Pelican Paste, because he's got this gritty soap that really gets out all that grime from these manly maker hands of ours that we tend to do. But he also has all kinds of waxes for you: soft wax, hard wax, oil. Um, and he'll do custom tins for with your logo on them. So for all your waxy needs, go check out Pelican Paste, and you can use the discount code TTT10 for 10% off your next purchase.
You know how I use some, I'd never done this before, but I did on one of the katanas. I ended up doing the silk wrap,
Mm-hmm.
and the silk wrap is always it always looks a little kind of fuzzy, like
Okay.
the strands come up.
Sure.
So I just used a bit of wax just to get that fuzz off of it, so to speak, and like make it a little grippier. Actually turned out really well. It didn't have that shiny silky feel to it. I wanted it to be a little grippy and look a little cooler. So yeah, use some Pelican paste for that. Worked out well.
Nice. You can also get Pelican Paste at Maritime Knife Supply now. So
Yep.
for
Yeah,
all
you can.
in the Hoth region.
Yeah, nobody calls it that up there, by the way.
Nobody calls what?
Nobody calls Canada the Hoth region.
Okay. I don't say it because it's a common phrase, Dennis. Just case you're wondering.
Yeah, I know.
I just ate. But you know what else I did? I ate an Eat More bar too. I'm
Oh,
just like a regular Canuck right now.
You're just devouring Canada now, aren't you?
Yeah.
And
This is.
Yeah, I don't really like them that much. Coffee crisp? Yes, coffee crisps are great. Eat more? That's not my favorite.
Apparently, you guys have ketchup potato chips.
Yes,
That was
they're gross.
something.
They're
Somebody,
gross.
yeah, that's what one of the guys said. Like your buddy obviously doesn't love you that much. He didn't bring you ketchup potato chip. I'm like, that
No,
does
I
that's.
do love you, so I didn't bring you ketchup
Thank you.
chips.
That doesn't sound the best, but yeah, the Eat More was like, meh. It wasn't bad, but if I never had one again, I'd be all right.
Yeah, it's not. I appreciate that our buddy Nate gave that to us. No, wait, that was Lawrence, right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
Lawrence.
Nate. Yeah, that was Lawrence. That Lawrence brought them down.
Nate was full torque about him though. So
Yeah. But yeah, they're not my favorite candy bar. Coffee crisp, those are good.
All right. I forgot to tell you too. When I was coming back from Sean's house on Friday night, I was starving, and I'm getting home. I'm talking to Lynn about, hey, what are we doing for dinner and blah 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 blah. So, hadn't really made up my mind, but I was like, don't sure. I'm about 10 minutes away. Just got into Brentwood. I'll figure something out. And I go down the main drag off of the freeway on Sand Creek, and sure as shit, I get stuck in a DUI checkpoint.
Yeah, and
I passed.
oh, well, good.
Yeah, they're way less stressful today than they used to be. But yeah, I wouldn't want to say inconvenient because I don't necessarily disagree with the idea. You know, I'm not really keen on a bunch of drunks driving around my neighborhood. But yeah, my hungry fat Jerid was like, "Oh my fucking god, let's go!" But I do get to say it's pretty good now because now when I go through them, like I said, it's different because I don't drink. So I have my license out. Guy looks and he's like, he's like, sees me have my license out the window. He's, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. He checks it out. He's like, you have anything to drink tonight? I'm like, nah. He's like, when was the last time you had anything to drink? I was like, May 2nd, 2007. All right, man. Have a good night. It was pretty cool. So,
but you knew the date, so I think he clued into that.
Yeah, I've done that a few times. It's been a couple years though since I've been caught in one. So,
oh, gee, I can't remember the last time I've been in a DUI checkpoint.
Yeah,
I don't know that I've ever been stopped in one in the U.S.
Really?
No, I don't think I ever have.
Oh, I'm due for one every couple years for sure.
Oh, they're Canada. They're everywhere. Like, especially in the winter, like near the holidays, like you're almost guaranteed to get stopped.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not that interesting and I just don't go out anywhere. Could
That's
be that
probably
too.
it. Yeah. It involves leaving your hut.
I do need to get my ass in gear and do some Christmas shopping though, which means sitting in front of the computer and pressing a bunch of keys. But
you better hurry up. That shit ain't going to get here by now.
The kids are probably going to get gift certificates, and I got Kim a couple little things in Canada. So,
Yeah, I think we're going to do a super low key. I don't know. We've had some pretty extravagant Christmases before, but kids are older now, and Lynn and I are going away right after Christmas. So I'm like, yeah, let's keep it chill. Just do a couple things. So I'm not really stressing out about shopping this year.
Yeah, well, we're the same. Kim and the girls are going to Universal and going to LA right after New Year's. So I'll probably give them some fun money to have fun at Universal, and then we're going to Jamaica, and Kim and I in Feb, so we don't need to spend a bunch of money on dumb shit for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
agreed. But I did also get to spend. I didn't do much Saturday in the shop because I think Oh, no. So last time we talked, we my buddy had just come over to look at the electrical work for the
Right.
50 amp. So turns out he was able to do it on Tuesday, the next day. So I have all of the I got the breaker done, and the outlet for the induction forge all set up. So I'm super stoked about that. I just got to get the
You got to make a plug, like
I'm gonna
a
make a
cord for
plug
it.
and
Yeah.
and hook it all up. But the extension cord finally came. So I don't know what happened on Saturday, but I guess it really doesn't matter. Not that anybody gives a shit, anyways. But I didn't do much until the evening. And oh, that's what I was gonna say. So because I kind of suggested my sub panel's full, 100%, every single outlet. There's a lot of shit in there. So we went into the main panel, but like you and I were talking about, was going into the main panel and drilling a hole in the side of the house and blah 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 blah. Not when you have an electrician, Dennis. Not when you have an electrician. The guy cut out the piece of drywall inside, exposed the backside of the panel, um, drilled the top plate from the attic, so no holes in the house. It's all done fucking super good and clean. And but to do that, I had to. I'm sounding like a lazy bastard here, but I have my belt rack, what I hang all
Hmm.
my belts on above my grinders. So sure as shit, the panel's behind that. Had to had to disassemble all the grinders, move them all out of the way, get the belt racks off, and move all the belts. Okay, so I put all of the belts on like I for work we have 30 by 42 drawing paper, so they come in these big rolls, and there's a cardboard tubing.
Hmm.
So I sat there and I kind of rigged this thing up. So I put all the belts on this cylinder tube, and then I get them all on there, and I'm walking around. Dude, I must have walked around this shop for about 3 minutes like a not smart person, because I couldn't find anywhere to put down the belts. Everywhere I go, and I'm like catching the belts on all my shit, running around, trying to find a spot to put them down, because I thought it was so smart to get them all neat on this little cylindrical thing. And it ended up, I almost had to like scream for help, because I don't even know what the fuck to do. Do I just drop them on the floor? And then I'm like, that's going to be a
Should have put a
disaster.
broomstick through it and then hung it somewhere.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I thought I was going to do, but I had literally had this, like, I don't know, about 4 feet piece of tube, but nowhere to put the fucking thing. So finally, I stuffed them under one of my desks, and it worked out pretty good. But it was hilarious. I was almost laughing to myself walking around with these. I mean, you don't realize how many damn belts you have until you got them all in your hand. That's for
Yeah.
sure. But that's what I did Saturday. I had to put everything back and all that crap, and then I finally got out there and did some work. And spent most of Sunday out doing the same thing. So got handles routed and started to sand, and did made some progress on some older shit. Like I said, that's what I'm really trying to clean up, some of those things that I have hanging around. So I had a question for you. When you are gluing up, what do you use to clean the handle fronts?
The what do
The
you?
handle front, the sanded part, when
Oh,
you're gluing up for epoxy squeeze out.
oh, I use acetone.
That's all you've ever used?
I've used alcohol before, but it doesn't work as well as acetone. Yeah, I'll use acid. No, I'll use acetone. So I have I clear my table. I have a jar that has Q-tips. I have a jar that has like a little toothpicks. I have paper towel, and I lay everything out in front of me. I've got a little squeeze bottle that has the acetone in it, and then I'll wipe them. I'll wipe them with paper towel and acetone, and then I'll usually go in with a Q-tip and acetone and
You
make sure I get it all.
never worried about the acetone getting in between,
Never.
leaking in?
Nope.
Okay. Well, some people do. So it was suggested to use WD-40,
Huh.
and
I'd be more worried about that getting in.
why?
Well, acetone's going to evaporate almost immediately.
Okay.
WD-40 is not. So if you get WD-40 under the scale, between the scale and your epoxy, then it's going to stay there, and it's going to inhibit. I mean, that's my thought. I would never. I would the acetone's going to evaporate almost immediately.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a right way or a wrong way, but it was suggested to use the WD-40, and you got to think about it too. I'm applying it the same way you're using acetone, right, on a Q-tip.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not a lot, but it did clean the glue up a lot better too. But then I was watching this YouTube video from. Did you know that Neil Kamamura has a YouTube channel?
of course.
Do you? It's
Yeah,
not that big.
no, he's had it for a couple of years.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. That's my when I first did when I felt like I perfected the coffee etch. It was from his video.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't realize it's not. I don't know. He started it and was there's not much on there, and it wasn't. It's not that big, so he must have like started and then kind of just
Yeah,
chilled
he
out.
hasn't done much with it.
Yeah, but there's some good info on there. So he was doing one of the. He was doing like an Akiri build I was watching, and he uses something called I have it in here, Johnson's Paste Wax.
Hmm.
He had a whole thing on not using acetone, which I'd heard from, I think it was Rick actually that told me about the WD-40. So I was curious. What else do you guys use? Anybody else got any thoughts on that? Either way, I would be curious to hear.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a good enough seal um, on your scale, like to the knife, there really shouldn't be anything going underneath that, whether it's WD-40 or acetone or
Yeah,
um, you
but
know,
you know how people are, man. They get their ways the right way,
yeah,
and they're locked in it, and so. But I
yeah,
always try to stay open minded and try to take
yeah.
as many suggestions as I can. So I'm curious if anybody else does anything else. We've got acetone, WD-40, and I have not tried or don't know if I will, but the Johnson's Paste Wax, which I'd never heard of before. So I don't
It's
know what
just a
the hell.
wax. It's like putting carnauba
Pelic.
wax. It's the same thing.
Okay. So Pelican Paste.
Yeah, Pelican base, same thing.
Interesting.
I've used straight rubbing alcohol before. You can use brake clean. It's
Gotcha.
all similar to acetone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. But yeah, so I felt like a knife maker. I did a bunch of forging, and I got three projects real close to being done. Just got to finish hand sanding the handles, and
And what are the names of these? Come on, you must have some crazy names for them.
I actually don't. I got the one of them is the reverb. This one's the one of them is the Peter cutter.
What is it? A bris knife?
Oh man, it's a reverb, but it's going to my buddy Prescott Peter Pedro. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on all the other things. But yeah, a good buddy of mine.
Is he a
He,
rabbi?
huh?
Is he a rabbi?
Mm-mm. I get what you're going with there, but that has been a suggested name for one of us, the C word cutter. But yeah, fuck, it's been a while, God, man. So the buddy of ours that I made the cake cutter for, when he got married, my buddy PJ. That's his name. I call him everything but his name. That's kind of like how we are now. I can't
You
even
don't
remember
remember
his
his
real.
real name?
Yeah, we don't call each other by our real name. So think about it. But anyways, he came and stayed with me for a couple days, and he's a pretty handy dude. So we got into the shop, and he was helping me finish up some knives that we were that I was going to give to our buddy. And so I said, "Hey man, let's make something." And he picked out a sandmai billet that I had, and we profiled it and shaped it. He actually set them up on the grinder to do the bevels, and there it's sat for a million years because that's just my MO, you know. So told him I'd work on getting that done, but that's going to be the Peter cutter. Then I got a large, full size Intrepid, and this other knife, this little EDC thing that I'd laying around too. I don't know what the hell to call it. I was actually not a huge fan of it. I'm not. The blade shape isn't. I guess back when I did it a year in, you know, it was we progress into what we like and our abilities, but um, after getting the handles on and sanded and shaped and routed, now I'm kind of digging the handle shape on this thing. It's
Nice.
pretty. It's not typical. It's got some curves and flares, and so I don't know what I'll call that one. And then I got another paring knife done. So, dude, I like I said, I'm a real knife maker. I I hope everybody can relate to that because some weeks, you know, with life and everything, I just don't feel like feel like I'm posing. Uh, you know.
Well, all I did after the katana, I cleaned the shop. Like the shop was, you were over. The shop was disgusting. There was like wood chips everywhere. There was so totally like full clean. And when I do full clean, that means like cleaning the mill, cleaning the oiling the lathe, all of like oiling the mill, all of that shit. Did all that, and then today actually was back on the Kumai folder, which I did the scales for the folder today. Um, did a new back bar. So anyway, some interesting things for that folder, which is coming on really nice. I'm hoping I'm gonna do file work for the liners. Jared's playing with his. I'm going to do file work for the liners, and I'm hoping this week's Triple T will be on anodizing titanium.
Oh,
So that will be, if I get those done tomorrow, I'll be anodizing those liners tomorrow. That's the
nice.
plan. That's the plan.
All right.
But I got to do all the file work on those, so we'll see. But I did the camel bone scales, which came out really cool. Looked really good on that knife. So yeah,
I don't know
excited.
what you're talking about.
The one I took,
I understand what you're saying. I'm following you. I cannot picture the camel bone.
it's like a brownish color.
This is the one you call the audible on for the apocalyptic challenge. That
No, no, no. This is like a pair of brown camel scales that I got in that whole big knife.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm following you now. Okay,
yeah. They're pre-dyed. Like I just had
gotcha.
to cut them in, but they match the. It's copper, right? So they match the copper
Okay, I'm following you. All right.
really nice. So yeah, doing that, and then I've got a a buoy and a hunter that I did with the same steel, which is like a I don't I forget what the I know it's twist. I think has nickel. It's a twist with pure nickel with some other Damascus in the core, and I don't really remember, but it looks kind of cool. So I'm anxious to grind that one and see the pattern because I don't remember because it's been a while. But I'll start those this week if I get through this folder. This folder might take a while. But I'm not in a hurry. I took half the day off today just to relax. So. But yeah,
Nice.
get back at it by New Year's. I'll have this folder done and I'll be onto these Bowie knives for sure. So that's the plan.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I think the next video. Well, I'm doing a video. Obviously, the dual katana video will be hopefully this week. Definitely before Christmas. I want that up before Christmas. You guys will see that build. But after that, what I've decided is the build video after that, I'm finally going to do a keyhole. So I'm
What'd
going
you
to
call me?
Yeah, you're a hole, all right. I'm going to be doing
In one. Okay.
a mosaic Damascus keyhole. So I'll do a pretty cool mosaic and make a keyhole handle for it. So
awesome.
Yeah, excited about that one.
What kind of knife?
Probably it's probably gonna be something like a Bowie, but it's not gonna have a guard, obviously, because it's an integral. So we'll see what it is. I think it's gonna be kind of like a big hunter, something like that.
Okay.
So stay tuned. It's more about the keyhole than it is about the shape of the knife, but
right.
It'll be probably my typical Bowie blade, but on a little different handle.
Okay.
So there'll be some challenges there.
I see.
And then January or maybe late Feb, I'm thinking of taking another class from a master smith. I'll see. I haven't called him yet, but I think I'm going to take a class from a different master smith. I'll keep you guys in suspense because I haven't booked it yet, but we'll see when that's going to be.
Do they have a small shop too?
I don't know.
I'm kidding.
Probably not.
Just iced me out. Yeah. Well, shit, you're gonna have a busy February.
Yeah. Then our buddy Coy from Baker Forge and Tool is coming down for a visit. We're going to do some fun stuff. I haven't really figured out what that is. But
I know you don't.
You don't know shit.
Oh, I know.
You don't know.
I do.
You don't.
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Okay. You don't have to. That's the good part about this.
All right. Maybe we'll make some stainless Damascus.
That's been done. We're trend setting.
I am going to try that pretty soon again, too. So,
all right.
Lots of stuff on the horizon here. But now that I'm doing what I want to do and I'm off of customs for a while, it'll be back to some more interesting stuff.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't want to go the Denis Tyrell route, making all of this complex pattern welded steel, you can go check out our boys at Baker Forged and Tool, and they got all the Damascuses. Their Damascus got Damascus all day long. Right now, this is good luck trying this. Now that we're normally a little late in the game. Yeah, but we're a day later than normal. But last week's drop was a new pattern, Riptide Max in their brand new diamond pattern drop. No, I read that wrong. Sorry, Coy. Dope. Oh, that's the Homer Simpson back into the Ivy right there. Whoops. Riptide Max in their brand new diamond pattern that drops now. So go check that out and make sure when you guys are ready, check the Instagram account and use the app, the Baker Forge app, to get early access to all their drops. That I think they release on Friday or Saturday.
Yeah,
so
Friday. I thought it was Friday.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But though you can with the app, I think you can get it on Friday. So go check them out, and they also have that awesome etchant gator piss, which I'm excited to go. They got to be running out here in the next couple months, so I got to get back to Florida to harvest that fresh batch like I did.
Milk those gators.
That's right.
Find those nipples.
Gators got udders. But yeah, so on your next purchase, go check out with the discount code triple T10. That's TTT10 for 10% off your next purchase.
Get some.
Get it.
Hey, I had a fun story. Our buddy Brigham Kendall was up in Anchorage,
Yeah.
and he reached out to me, and he was talking to some guy at some ramen place or something like this, and he
They
got
have
to talk.
ramen in Alaska?
I guess
All right.
it's not what I think of eating when I go to Anchorage, but I guess he's sitting there and he was talking to the guy beside him, and strikes up a conversation. They get onto knives, and the guy beside him goes, "Yeah, I watched this guy on YouTube make knives, and he's got a shark for a logo." And Brigham goes, "Oh, hold on." Pulls up his phone and pulls up the picture of the two of us from Blade Show, and
Yeah,
thought that was pretty funny.
that is cool.
Yeah. So yeah, somebody's
Dude,
heard of me in Anchorage, and
that's
now
cool.
knows Brigham.
Yeah, that's really cool. He had a hell of a trip though. He got to hang out with Spencer and Gabe
Gabe, yeah,
from
yeah.
Anchorage Forge. He forged a beautiful integral chef that it was that super cool, man. That he's one of the best dudes, super nice guy. And I love, and me, I like when people are out visiting and getting together, especially when you're out of town and stuff. So that was really cool. Shout out to all those. And then I got a little bit of feedback on my Christmas music or no, which you still got time because but I did get a pretty funny response from Spencer. And I don't know what's going on with our Instagram, but it was excuse me. I have the notifications come in on a banner on my iPhone. So I saw the message come down and I read it. And then when I went to go check the message, because I had like double take, I'm like, this motherfucker just say what I think he just said. And I went back and I went to look at it and the message was gone. So I sent him one back and I'm like, dude, did I just read a message that you said that Christmas music lowers your testosterone level?
What?
That's
What
what
did
he
you
said.
delete it after?
No, he said, "Yep," and so we started going back and forth, and but he's like, "Yeah, I screenshotted my version of the thread, and that part wasn't there, but I did read it and I remembered it, but he confirmed, yeah." So Spencer's
Instagram censored it.
he's the Christmas music Grinch, the manly one, but yeah, I thought that was hilarious. I can see it lowers your testosterone. And somebody, what was this cat's name? I think it was Black Rock Forge. Said the only acceptable Christmas song is "Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer," and it's completely off my radar. I'm all about
You've never heard
the.
that song?
No, I've heard it. Of course I
Oh,
have. It's
okay.
just not. It didn't come to mind. Like I started laughing because and then I couldn't stop singing the fucking thing. So
I did watch the Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch with my
yes.
sister, and that is probably one of the best Jim Carrey roles he's ever
Oh,
done.
I was about to say, don't disappoint me, dude. Don't disappoint me.
Wait, you think there's a better one?
No, that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, him in that movie. Oh man, he's so good in that movie.
Fantastic. It's a good movie.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
watching that movie the day my wife went into labor with my daughter. That's all. So that is 23 years old. Think about that.
It's really that old,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, it's a good movie.
it's
Yeah,
good.
he's outdid himself in that one.
Yeah. Yeah, but that the God, I don't have his name in front of me. I'm sorry, man. But BlackRock Forge apparently he made a joke because he lives about 10 minutes from Lawrence, and he was saying he had a nice pile of Jerid knives, so they always get together and do their Jerid because Lawrence is famous for that too.
Yeah, yeah. He might even challenge you.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe.
Rick's got a pretty big bucket too, so he's. I think he's got you
Yeah, but
covered.
those are fuck ups though.
No, they're not.
Oh, come on, man. Yes.
Oh, I see.
Rick, I was attempting to bust your balls a little bit, and
See, Rick,
Dennis
I was
didn't.
supporting you.
Good God. Yeah. Well, who do you got for Maker Spotlight?
I have DiCristo knives. So DiCristo, DIKRISTO_knives, DiCristo knives. And I'm not even going to try to say his name. It's obviously Greek. Dracoupolis Stylianos Christos. Anyway, Christos Kitchen Knives.
Try it again. Try it again.
I'm not going to do it. I saw this guy a while back. He did this really cool saya for a knife where part of it was like transparent epoxy. Really cool. But I just saw this latest one that he did, which is a Damascus cladded saya for a chef knife. And I'm just looking
Oh
at this thing
my
going,
God.
like, holy, that's just extravagant use of Damascus. And I'm pretty sure it's stainless Damascus. So that knife must cost a pretty penny um, with that much stainless Damascus. Yeah, it's impressive. So if you haven't checked him out, go check out DeCristo_knives. He's got almost 10,000 followers. So go push it up over 10,000. But really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, man. I'm sleeping on this cat. That's some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Really nice. Who do you got?
Hold on, man. I'm gawking over this. This is good podcasting content. Me staring at Instagram. Don't interrupt me. Yeah, that's really good. That followed for sure. I have our buddy Noah Vachon. One of the better Hothians around. Way cooler than you, for sure. No, Noah's a good dude. We got to hang out at Makers Camp. I don't think he was there last year. It was 2 years ago. But super cool guy. Every time I hear somebody talk about him, it's always what a nice guy, super helpful. Does classes, the mini knives, but dude, he's just a banger of a maker. Just puts out incredible work, and I just wanted to give him a shout out. He's got a 18.3 thousand followers, and that's if I feel stupid saying it because probably everybody already does, but that's VACHON knives on Instagram. If you're not following him, do yourself a favor and go check it out. But he does just some awesome stuff and super good dude. So just wanted to shout him out and let him know the boys at Triple T say what's up.
Yeah, he's good. You know, every time I see Noah's or I think of Noah, Vachon is. I mean, it's French. It's a very common French last name, but Vachon is also a company that makes like these little cakes. Like if you're a kid in Canada and you get like little Swiss rolls or those, what do you call them here? The ding dongs or the little cakes, Vachon makes all of those in Canada. So
They're he's the little Debbie of
yes, he is the little Debbie of Canada. So
okay.
every time I hear Vachon, that takes me back to my childhood when I'd have those little chocolate cakes for in my lunch at recess.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so I mean, not only does he does like the mini knives were super cool. I think I just saw he was doing some more of those recently. Those are super cool. These miniature versions of his knife. But I saw a video not too long ago. I'm kind of scrolling back because he wasn't really active on Instagram for a while, but I've been seeing a lot more of his stuff lately. But he did a restoration on a guitar, which reminded me that he actually used to make guitars too. He does play music and all that stuff too, but I don't see this video here. But if you haven't seen that, that restoration that he did. It was fucking awesome. So just super talented dude. So go check him out.
Yep. So I learned something new in a new language, and something important that you need to remember.
Me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Tyrell Fuwaksu.
Well, Fox you too.
when Because when I did, I always put Tyrell Knifeworks and kanji on the tangs of my katanas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually hit the little audio thing on Google Translate, and it translated it for me, and that's what Tyrell Knifeworks is in Japanese.
Shidoshi.
Taireru Nai Fuaksu means Tyrell Knifeworks.
That's pretty cool.
I was impressed that it was a translation.
Yeah, that too. That's that weird looking shit that you had on the tang.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I know.
Yeah.
I was looking at the katanas, which by the way were beautiful. And I asked you what the hell that was. I don't think you hit me with the Tairu Fashu Shawagashu.
Yeah, I had to. If I don't have the phonetic in front of me, you would never get that from the word, like the Japanese word. So.
No, the word "run" is in it when I read it on the left side, and you don't say that. So,
Yeah.
oh man.
Oh.
So I got a story here, and then we can wrap this thing up. I don't know how many people got Dutch Bros around them, but Dutch Bros is a coffee ish kind of thing. I'm not really sure their
Yeah.
coffee's all that good, but they make really good like flavored shit, and they have these energy drinks that they call Rebel instead of Red Bull, and you can get them flavored. So I get a sugar free strawberry Rebel, and they're good. I like them. And the family always likes it, but there's always these super long ass lines in this place. Sometimes it's like in the summer they're ridiculous. Like you
They're
can
always
be in there.
drive ups, right?
Yeah, all of them. You know,
Yeah.
you can walk up, but they're little small buildings with a lot on a big ass lot, so they can fit a lot of cars in their in their line. Yeah, you can easily spend 40 minutes, an hour in those lines. Sometimes I don't understand. The only time I did that was when my daughter worked there, and a new location I'd ordered, and we were just going to see her. And my wife tricked me into sitting in that line forever. But anyway, so every now and again we'll go. We have one right down the street from my house, so we go. My son and I jump in the car. We go to Dutch Bros, and we're driving there. And so over the years, in my older age, I've learned to chill the fuck out when I drive because, not too long ago, it was not above me to freak the fuck out and get a little road ragey, right? So I guess it's been a long time because I worked on this in recovery because I used to just flip off the handle and nowadays I'm super kind. I call it the Zen campaign. I just letting things go, real simple. Sounds like, I'm sure there's somebody that gets it, right?
Oh, I get it.
But yeah, so I'm super chill. I don't try not to drive fast anymore, and just kind of take my time. But every now and again, I'll get really irritated. Two things: one, when somebody almost kills me, cuts me off or does something really stupid, and like I feel like you could have killed me, mother. Then I get a little upset. Or when somebody does something really, really, really stupid. But now I'm getting really old because I had my son in the car and we were coming up into off the road to turn into this place, and this guy with this, it was a BMW, but just had that super loud ass muffler. Like every gear shift is just accentuated by so many decibels. It was just irritating. So that's how I know I'm getting old. I was just like, mother, and then yeah, exactly. So he goes up, he's like next to me, and anyways, he guns it, cuts me off, And sure as shit, he pulls into the Dutch Bros parking lot and he's in front of me. So I'm with my son who's 16. I try really hard to set a good example for him, right? On like all levels of everything, right? I want him to be a good young man and have good character. And but I was telling him, I was like, son, I'm irritated right now. Like, so I need you to understand that we could try to be good people all the time we want, but sometimes every now and again, a motherfucker just push you and you you get irritated. And right now, you're watching your dad kind of go through this motion right now. So I'm kind of going on a little tirade there. And then he's in the dude's in front of me and he's he's revving the engine and like just irritating me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let this go. Another car goes by with another loud muffler kind of dude. Anyway, so then I finally get irritated and I roll my window down and I start saying things really loud, not directly at him, but indirectly, to where I know I'm being heard. And douchebag may have came out a couple times and some other derogatory terms.
I wish I was there.
Oh, it was. And the whole time I'm like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be doing this shit. Like and so finally I chill out and the lady takes his order and then they do some like really complex order taking thing. Like they go back and forth with cars. Like somehow the people that are taking the orders have like an order of where everybody is, even though like the person behind you pulls up in front of you and you're in a different spot, but they normally get it all right. But it takes a minute. So now I'm getting irritated again. So finally, when the person comes up to me to take my order, the guy goes, the guy in front of you wants to pay for your drinks. And I was just like, ugh. Head in my hands. Like I felt so little. Like it was a very humbling moment. And I looked at my son and I said, I don't have anything to say. Like, sometimes you act like an asshole, and no matter what you're believing in, God, a higher power, whatever, like the universe has a way to put you in your place. And because and I say that because as I was going through this, while I'm looking at my son saying I shouldn't be doing this, I continued to do it, right? And then we get down there, and to top it all off, the little bastard fucking offers to pay for my stuff. So I told him, no, I have a bunch of drinks, so I'm good. And the guy goes, no, he said he wanted, he insisted on you one. I said, well, I got like 5 drinks. And he goes, hold on. He walks over to the back to the guy, and the guy goes, no, So I'm like, fuck. All right. So, and he buys the drinks. And long story short, you feel this little every now and again, like you just feel like a total douchebag, like a total hypocrite, and not very Christmassy, not very grateful, not very all those things I opened the show up with. And I just I wanted to share that for accountability, one, right? Because we're only as sick as we're secrets, and we can keep that stuff for this look good kind of life where we don't ever do anything bad, but that's not me. And it was a really, really valuable lesson. I'm happy it happened in front of my son because, for me to, I was wrong. I shouldn't have been acting that way. And, this little bastard bought that is just so inside. I was more irritated than I was, but I couldn't let it out anymore because Jerid would have been like, hey, you're a real dick,
it was
Dad.
at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Exactly. So I don't know how do whatever you want with that piece, but yeah, that happened, and I needed to share that for some accountability to not be a douchebag. So let's be good people. Let's be good to each other. And
Yeah,
a
I think
Merry
we need
Christmas.
to end the show with Jared's karma biting him in the ass.
100%. 100%.
Oh, well, that's good. At
Oh,
least you didn't
no,
get to
I'm
pull
not
him out of the
gonna,
car.
yeah, I'm not going to end the show. Big, major, huge, awesomest level 10 shout out to Bobby from Reaper Manufacturing. He heard the cry for a logo and on his own accord went ahead and did his magic and put together what Dennis and I think is two actually really cool things that we're gonna utilize for the new Triple T logo. Really cool stuff. Very appreciative, sir. He's always been in our corner supporting us, but that was over the top to take his time to do that, and I'll be posting that with by the time you've already seen it by the time you hear this, because I'll put it out on the Instagram. So
Yeah, I'm gonna update our logo to that one as well.
yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
We love it. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
All right. With that,
And that's a wrap.